Hey you, if you ever felt like you were too much, too quiet, too sensitive, if you ever wondered why the world felt just a little louder, faster, or heavier to you, if you ever felt like you were doing life differently and didn't know why, this video is for you. It's for the quiet, high achiever, the mid student who keeps it all together at hospital and cries in the washroom, the girl who thinks she's just lazy or broken, the one who never felt quite understood. Hi, I'm Dipanshi, and this isn't a diagnostic video. This is not a lecture, just me sharing what I've come to understand about myself, and maybe something you'll recognize in you too. I've always felt different, not in a loud way, more like a quiet hum in the background. I felt things too deeply. I noticed patterns, numbers, sounds in ways I couldn't explain. I was either too chatty or completely shut down. Social situations drained me, even if I enjoyed them. I didn't hate people, I just needed to recover after being around them. But I brushed it off, told myself I'm just introverted or shy or maybe overthinking again. So I masked it. I mirrored people to fit in, practiced the right facial expressions, copied body language, and came home completely exhausted. I thought this was just anxiety or me being shy or weird. Still, a part of me kept wondering, is everyone else really finding this so easy? Or am I missing something? Things started to make sense during my camp's attachment in London. That's when I really learned about ASD, ADHD, and more. I saw the way neurodivergence shows up in young people, especially in girls, in their curiosity, overwhelm, repetition, creativity, how often they were misunderstood, and slowly I began seeing pieces of myself. One evening, in the soft comfort of conversation, a friend who is neurodivergent herself gently said, some of the things you're describing sound familiar. You might be neurodivergent. At first, I froze. I didn't know what to do with that word, but that one sentence cracked something open. She didn't rush me, just held space, and that changed everything. And slowly, with her encouragement and support, instead of spiraling, I researched, reflected, took a few self assessments, talked to my therapist, and slowly my entire life started to make sense. When I first started learning about neurodivergence, I thought, but this doesn't look like me because I didn't have meltdowns in public. I wasn't disruptive in school. I wasn't what people imagine. But you know what it did look like? It looked like being told you are too sensitive. Like loving deeply but being told I overreact. Like knowing too much about how someone else is feeling without being told a thing. Like replaying conversations in my head for days. Like feeling everything all at once and not knowing how to turn it off. Like spending hours scripting responses before a phone call. Like masking through social events only to collapse once I got home. It looked like being the quiet kid who always noticed things, the tension in a room, the flicker in someone's voice, the feeling of someone hurting even if they say they were fine. And you might not know you are neurodivergent, because no one told you that this is how it can also look like. Sometimes neurodivergent people don't look the way the world expects them to, especially women, especially those are high functioning. And here's the part that made me emotional. Neurodivergence isn't only about struggle, it's about seeing the world differently, feeling it differently. It's why I cry at songs other people don't understand, why Taylor Swift's lyrics don't just sound good, they mirror back entire emotional universes. Why the number 1111 or pattern in tree shadows make me stop in my tracks. My brain notices, it feels, it connects dots that no one else sees. And yeah, it can be overwhelming, but it's also magic because the truth is we process in layers, in loops, in levels. Some days it feels like a gift, noticing beauty, connecting deeply, dwelling in creativity, uncovering quiet insights. But other days it's shut down, emotional floods, and complete burnout. Neurodivergence isn't always a struggle, but it's not always a superpower either. It doesn't mean I'm broken, it just means my brain needs room to be itself. If you have ever been told you're too much, too intense, too emotional, maybe you are not broken, maybe your brain is just dancing to a rhythm the world forgot to hear. I wasn't lazy, I was overwhelmed. I wasn't antisocial, I was masking. I wasn't too sensitive, I was processing everything so deeply all the time. I wasn't bad at socializing, I was masking so hard, I didn't know who I was underneath it all. I was trying to fit in a world that was never built for brains like me. Realizing I might be neurodivergent didn't scare me, it comforted me. Since realizing this, I've stopped fighting myself so much. I've allowed my brain to be my brain. I now see the beauty in how I notice art, how I read between the lines in conversations, how I love intensely, how Taylor's lyrics land 10 layers deep. This kind of brain is wired for wonder. And yes, it gets heavy, but it also makes life so vibrant. I still have days when I crash, but now I understand why. I still mask sometimes, but I come home to myself sooner. It also gave me a language for a lifetime of confusion, especially as a high functioning female. It was easy to be overlooked, easy to pass, but it came at a cost: burnout, sensory overload, emotional shutdowns, that too behind closed doors, and a constant feeling of not being built for this world. But I just operate differently. There were rough times too, times when everything felt too heavy, and during one of those, I returned to therapy, a space I visited before and found comfort in. I didn't need to fix myself, I needed to understand myself, to forgive myself for the years I pushed through without knowing why. The one thing that changed everything was when someone told me, "You are not failing, you are orbiting." Neurodivergent people don't always move in straight lines. We chase goals not like a checklist, but we orbit our passions. Orbiting isn't avoidance, it's how we gather light before returning again. We get close to something we love, pull back, come back again with fresh eyes. There's a rhythm to how we function. We are not inconsistent, we are orbiting. And when we stop shaming ourselves for needing space, we come back with clarity. Ever since I heard that, I stopped calling myself lazy. I started saying, I'm orbiting and I'll return. I'm not going to lie, it was scary. Especially as a doctor, the pressure to always be fine, always be strong is real. I was scared people might think I wasn't fit to be a doctor. But the truth is, my neurodivergence doesn't make me a worse doctor, but it makes me a more empathetic one. It makes me a better listener, a more compassionate human who connects deeper. And it reminds me to see the patient as a whole, not just a diagnosis. And obviously, being neurodivergent doesn't mean being incapable. It means you process differently, and that difference can be a superpower in caring professionals. I'm sharing this because I know how lonely it can feel, especially if you're high functioning, if you mask well, if you're used to being the strong one. You don't need to wait for a crisis to start caring for yourself. I'm sharing this because I know someone out there needs to hear it. The quiet achiever, the medical student, the girl who's always been told that she's too much. You're not alone, you're not broken, you are just orbiting, and you deserve softness too. This video isn't here to tell who you are, it's just an invitation to be curious, to reflect, to explore who you are underneath the mask. I've linked some self assessment tools in the description, not to label yourself, but to explore. These aren't diagnostic, but they can start a conversation with yourself or with someone you are safe, like a therapist, a friend, a journal. This isn't a trend, this isn't for sympathy, it's homecoming. This doesn't mean that you have a learning disability. Neurodivergence isn't less, and neither are the people who live with LDs. It's simply one way of experiencing the world, and it deserves to be understood. And I want you to know you don't need a label right now. This isn't about labels, it's about language. To understand yourself better, not to shrink you in a box. You don't need to diagnose yourself today. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to know everything right now. Just notice what feels familiar. That's more than enough. But if any of this feels familiar, the social exhaustion, the hyperfixations, the noise sensitivity, the intense emotions, the burnout from being someone else all day long, then maybe, just maybe, you are not broken. You are neurodivergent. And there's so much peace in simply knowing. For all the high functioning, hyper empathetic, overthinking souls out there, I see you. I am you. Thank you for being here. I know this was a longer video, but if you stayed till the end, thank you. I hope this video feels like a warm hug to someone who's been wondering if they are the only one. You're not alone, not in how you think, not in how you feel, not in how you move through the world. We love the beautiful chaos of being wired differently. That's how our spicy minds work. Let me know in the comments if anything resonated with you or if you've been orbiting too lately. I love this little community we've built, and I hope this video finds the ones who need it. If it helped you, maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Until next time, be kind to your mind. You matter even when you're orbiting, especially when you're orbiting. Bye.